Hey guys, today we have one of the newest competitors in the 5.7 category of firearms, introducing the Smith & Wesson M&P 5.7. Weighing just 26.7 ounces, this full-size pistol has an overall length of 8.5 inches, a height of 5.25 inches without red dot, 6 inches with red dot, and a shockingly slim overall width of 1.1 inches, putting it in the same thickness category as all of the most popular micro-compact EDC handguns available in the market today. This not only makes it a fantastic carry option, but it also gives you a lot more options than just an outside the waistband carry gun. The M&P 5.7 comes with 2 magazines, both holding a whopping 22 rounds on the capacity, which are true double stack mags, yet they maintain an extremely slim profile comparing to my phone right here, making it a lot easier to pocket these comically large magazines. Good luck trying to find a decent set of pouches for them. These mags do feature a round count indicator, which oddly enough go off of a 4 count, as you can see here. So just an example: 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and then 22. I don't know about you, but it kind of sounds weird to me. With all of its oddities, it does seem to function wonderfully. It is also completely ambidextrous, with not only a reversible magazine release button, but it also has ambi slide stops for all of you lefties out there. So, just to give you an example, one here still allows you to release that slide, and on this side as well. The slide also features deep yet not too aggressive front and rear slide serrations to allow for easy press checks and functioning under adverse conditions, whether it be rain or shine. The M&P 5.7 is optics ready and is cut for the Shield RMSC type footprint, which allows you to direct mount all of your favorite micro red dots directly onto that slide, including this beautiful Holosun 407K. Direct mounting allows for a lower profile, which means there is no more need for suppressor height sights. Now, there's the con to this. For some odd reason, Smith & Wesson thought it would be a great idea to stray away, right here, from the standard screw types and instead have a completely proprietary screw set that they also do not supply to you. Pro tip, just in case you were wondering, the screw types are 6/32 by 3/8, which can be bought at your local Ace Hardware for a few cents. This is the same for the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus as well, if you were wondering. Now, the most unique feature about the M&P 5.7 is going to be that barrel system. With the barrel system, it is a full 5 inches, it is gas operated, and it is a locking breech design. If you take a look here, watch that cam. What this does, this barrel design allows for a maximum powder burn and creates a more reliable feeding and extraction of cartridges. It also ends up causing less recoil, meaning that they can add lighter recoil springs, making that slide function a lot easier to operate. And that, coupled with that flat facing trigger right here, also being short reset as well, allows for a very fast shooting pistol. With all that being said, let's head out to the range. And with the help of movie magic, we are now in the range. As you can see, I don't have the 5.7 on me. However, these things are highly concealable. With a 5.7 like this one, it is small in profile. It's a little bit long, as you can see. However, in terms of the thickness, it's going to be very comfortable, much like the 6 Sauer 365X Macro, or even the Shield Plus, or even the 43X. It's still micro-compact sized in terms of thickness. However, it is a full-size gun with its 5-inch barrel, gas operated at the same time, and it also has this really unique locking lug right here as well. We'll see how it actually shoots, okay? Pretty freaking sweet so far. Don't let its size discourage you. Even though it's a full-size handgun and the projectile is actually going out at roughly about 2,000 feet per second, exerting roughly about 380 foot-pounds of force, this thing has relatively no recoil. If I show you right now, going through it. Almost no recoil whatsoever. These things are extremely manageable for new shooters and old shooters alike, okay? These things are fantastic. Now, if we take a closer look at this thing, you can see the muzzle flip is very, very shallow. It's gonna be a lot more manageable than even 380 if you've ever dealt with those things. Nice and lockable at the same time. These magazines seem to be massive, which they are, absolutely they are. But they're still super slimline, so you can really, really comfortably fit these things inside your pocket. Now, it is ambidextrous, so you get controls on both sides right here. Me personally, I still like to do the racking method as well, okay? Now the question is it accurate? Here's me at 5 yards shooting at the number 2 target on the top left. Moving back, we're gonna go on over to the 10 yard and we're gonna go for that second target right in the center right there. Moving back even further, we're gonna go for the 15 yard line right here. And even going back to the 20 yard line. At this point, I can't even see those dots too well, but I'm still gonna go for that bottom left target. As we can see here, it's a very consistent grouping, even at distance, depending on how much time you actually have to aim. Me, I haven't really zeroed this red dot to the point where I would like it yet. However, right here, there's a slight drop aiming at dead center at 5 yards, which is expected. At 10 yards, pretty much the same for the most part. 15 yards, it's pretty much dead on for the most part right here, okay? But relatively speaking, at 20 yards, our grouping is still roughly about 2 inches apart. So these things are very, very accurate. Just has to do with the user. I'm still fiddling around with the firearm, so bear with me on that. Now with a 5.7, the magazine does fit a whopping 22 round capacity as opposed to its competitors at 18 and 20 rounds. These come with 2 of these beautiful magazines. However, I would say it is very, very tough to actually get it seated with a full magazine and the slide locked open. You really got to be forceful with these things, okay? Now, with those 22 rounds, is it good for shooting fast? This thing, surprisingly, is a hammer-fired handgun. This thing operates off of an internalized hammer, so it's going to give you a very 1911 feel. With this trigger also, it's going to be super short on the reset and very, very, very quick with the pull. Now, just giving you guys a closer look at 7 yards or so on its speed. Very fast, very easy to do, all within range. But you can take a long time to empty that mag. Now taking a look side by side, we have the Smith & Wesson 5.7 right here, and we have the massive Ruger 5.7 as well. In terms of both of them, if we actually compare them side by side like this, you can actually see that the Ruger without the threaded barrel is going to be roughly about 1 whole inch longer. I'll look up the specs a little bit later for you guys and probably drop it down on the pin on that window, okay? But side by side wise, the Smith & Wesson is a slightly slimmer in line. Both of them have great capacity, both of them shoot really well. However, in my opinion, so far, shooting both of them, the Smith & Wesson 5.7 seems to function a little bit better. Now, what better way to test it out than to actually shoot it? Now, taking a look at the Smith & Wesson right here, muzzle flip wise, you don't really see too much of it whatsoever. Now, on the Ruger, I would expect to have a little bit less muzzle flip with its size. The Ruger is a little bit more forceful than the Smith & Wesson 5.7, even though it's a little bit bigger. Both of them have very similar barrel sizes, but methinks it has something to do with that gas operation and that lug design. Beautiful design. Don't know why they did it, but it works. Now, if you've already been taking a look at the video, you might have been wondering what the hell was that extended barrel right there? What the hell does that do? Well, that is a threaded barrel. This thing is a 1/2 by 28, same as all the other 22s, same as all the other 9mm, and same as all the AR-15s out there in 5.56. It's a 1/2 by 28 threaded barrel. Why? For suppressors, silly. Now, depending on which suppressor that you actually have, if it's rated for 5.7 because of its high compression rates, high pressure, you can fit almost any suppressor on here that you would want to. For me, this is a dead air masked 22. It's actually rated for 22s, 22 magnums, and yes, 5.7. Let's see how she works. It works pretty darn good. Smith & Wesson M&P 5.7, dead air mask 22, blue tips, POV, pretty cool, pretty freaking sick, and woo! Final thoughts on the Smith & Wesson 5.7. It's a great pistol, I'm not gonna lie. In terms of how 5.7s go, it's probably one of the more cost-effective options available on the market today. The only thing that I can think of that kind of beats its price is going to be the Palmetto State Armory Rock, which we will do a video on later on. With the 5.7s, including the FNs and the Rugers, me personally, at my own personal opinion, I'd say the Smith & Wesson 5.7 does shoot a lot better than the FN and also the Ruger alike. It's also a lot more cost-effective at the same time. It doesn't really mean that it's cheap, it just means that it's more affordable. With the 5.7, I'd say the average pricing on those things are roughly about $600 to $700. Now, price range on the 5.7, it's going to be roughly about $600 to $700 retail. Pretty decent on those things. I would definitely say it's a very decent carry gun as well. Being so slim in profile makes it a lot easier to conceal. You can do this outside the waistband, or you can even do it inside the waistband. I've tried both. They both seem extremely comfortable. The grip texturing on the handle does not seem to be too aggressive to cause you like some type of rash on your belly if you do appendix. It is a great pistol. It does have a lot of stopping power as well with the 5.7. It's really dependent on your budget. I feel like I'm shooting roughly about 75 cents every single time that I'm actually slinging lead down range. So that whole entire range section, about 150 rounds, that's probably going to cost me about $75. You know, it is an expensive cartridge, but with the advent of more companies creating a 5.7 product, the price is slowly dropping down a lot more. I remember roughly about 8 years ago or so, 5.7 was roughly almost $2 a round. So that was definitely rough back then. But nowadays, I'd say it's a lot more affordable and it's more of a cost-effective option as well for all you old timers that like to shoot 45 ACP all the time, God's caliber, you know. With the Smith & Wesson 5.7s, things can be found on the website listed below. If you use this coupon code right here, you can get 10% off anything that you purchase online. With all that being said, like, subscribe, and thanks for stopping by.